Well, I got a video for you today, guys. And if you haven't told by the title yet, this is a story time video, and it's going to be about the time I went to Washington, D.C. in middle school. I want you to be sure to watch through the entire video and the other two respective parts that will be coming out soon. This is a good story, I can guarantee you. So our school has the bright idea of putting everyone in a big old bus, and we're going to go to Washington, D.C. It's a pretty educational place, right? Well, there's a kind of a problem with that. We're a bunch of middle schoolers. I don't know if you've been to middle school yet, but if you have, you know that they're a little bit less developed than the rest of the civilized world, right? So this was a bad idea from the get-go. And then it gets worse from here. So you get a bunch of middle schoolers, right? You know, say we're going to put them on this big charter bus and make them go to Washington, D.C. and look at all the monuments, the museums, all the fun stuff, right? Well, there's a problem with that. It was $400 for entry, okay? $400 is way more than you would ever need to go to Washington, D.C. for a couple of nights, right? And we went there for 3 days on a charter bus, and the charter bus was probably half the expense because the hotel was not that good, the food was not that good, and it was pretty bad overall. So now you see the crappy situation that we're in, right? And I decided, yeah, I'm going to go on there. And about half of my friends decided to go there too. It turns out we're a bunch of idiots all together. Our combined IQ is not as great as you would think. So half of my friends are smart, and they said, no, this is a pretty terrible idea, I'm not going. And then me, my friends Jack, Kirkland, Andrew, Evan, and like a few more, I forgot. But we all went on this big bus. We're going to Washington, D.C. And they said, okay, we're going to leave at 12 o'clock midnight. 12 a.m. You know this is already going to be a great story. It's 12 a.m. Okay, listen, I did not get any sleep the night of. I just went on there randomly, and I decided, you know what, I was just going to stay up the whole bus ride there. Bad idea. We'll get into that later. The bus, we get on there, and it's kind of cramped, and we were basically, me and Kirkland were the bus mates. We sat next to each other, and we were basically the last people on. So you know who we sat behind? We sat behind the counselors. So while the other kids were having fun back there, and we were just over here like, boy, I sure am having fun. I am getting ready to go on to the DC trip, right? Yeah, sure thing. I am also having fun. It's you want to sit next to the counselors, who you went to school with and you just recently got out of, right? So you don't want to mess anything up, because they could just recall your graduation, and they could say, oh no, you're going back. You don't deserve to go to high school. And it's kind of a nerve-wracking situation. There's only one notable thing that happened before we actually got to DC, but it was kind of funny. So we was in Virginia. We were going up because we live in the South. I know, right? Crazy. It's like the South. Whoa. Anyways, we was going through the Virginia, and it was 6 a.m. We decided to go to a gas station. Alright? And there was also like a Subway at the gas. It was one of the bigger gas stations, like a truck stop. There's showers there, because like truckers, sometimes they don't get to shower, so they go to the gas station, and it's a pretty cool system actually. Anyways, Subway's the important thing, alright? So we decided to go to Subway, right? Well, my friend Andrew, he was kind of funny. He decided to order 3 footlongs, right? And it was like he was the only one there, and like they was just looking at him. You can tell they didn't sleep the night before. It was 6 a.m. and they were just tired. and we were tired. We didn't sleep all through the night, so we were just having fun with the cashiers and stuff, man. And then a bunch of 7th graders was like running around and stuff, and like we had to get back on the bus a little bit early. But it was kind of funny because like I was using the bathroom, and they were saying everybody leave, so I had to hurry up and before I had to go back to the bus. Anyway, so we got back with our stuff, and well, it wasn't that eventful before we actually went to DC, the DC area. So in the morning, all right, we actually get to DC, and we look around. We're like, oh wow, we're actually in DC, right? And we're like, whoa, we're ready to go. But before we start doing anything, we go to a breakfast bar, which is basically all the stuff you would really want for breakfast. It would be there. It'd be there at the bar. All right. So we go there and we're eating. And by the way, it was awful. The food was terrible. Like, especially if you live in the South, and if you go eat that food, and if you're from the South, breakfast is always good. Like, even if it's like some cereal, it'll be a way to be better than what it is in there. Okay, like it is always good in the South. Sorry for the tangent, but back to what we were talking about. So we was eating the food, and I was on my phone, and this is where me not going to bed in the middle of the night, this is kind of this is where it comes back into play, because I was playing on my phone. And I was kind of dozing off. And I literally had my phone in my hand. And I was, hold on, let me use up this chair so I can show you how it was. It was like, and then I just like, I fell asleep right there. And then one of my friends came over and he was like, whoa. I was like, I got up and was like, And so that was the end of that story. It was just kind of, I wanted to say it. It was a lot funnier if you saw what actually went down. I might just edit that out of the video. I don't know. But okay, going on to the next story. We actually get a tour guide for us for the thing, and she like jumped on the bus. She was like, "Hey, what's up, guys? I'm gonna be your tour guide for Washington D.C." And you don't want to hear that when you're tired. And like I was tired, It was like the second time I'd ever stayed up the whole night, and not even that. I mean, I fell asleep for like 45 seconds beforehand. So yeah, I had enough sleep for the time, but I was still kind of annoyed by her voice. Alright? So, the first thing we do is Arlington Cemetery, right? It's the graveyard where a lot of veterans go, and there was like multiple proceedings happening at the time, and there was many people there, it's a pretty, you better be respectful at that place. That's a pretty big thing that they say at the beginning, please be respectful of the stuff, right? And we're a bunch of middle schoolers, so you can tell what's kind of going down, right? Well, it all heads up at the changing of the guard, alright? So, it's kind of a big thing is when they change the guards at the tomb of the unknown soldier. So like this is literally everyone who cannot be found and worn is declared KIA, and they get, they are monumentally in this tomb. And it's a big honor thing. You should be quiet the entire time, and a bunch of middle schoolers going up there. I can't say I was the one who was talking, and none of my friends were. I think we had common sense enough, but there were some people from our school who was like just having a conversation, having their phones out, and it was kind of bad, right? And then they yelled at us mid changing of the guard. They yelled at us to be respectful of them, and it's, why would you do that? Why would you? I'm not going to comment any more about it. You can make your own opinion on that, but we're going to move on, alright? And then we went to a couple of monuments, the the raising of the flag at Iwo Jima. Like, you know the photo. It's pretty memorable. And then did some more monument stuff, but it wasn't like the big monuments. They saved that for later in the day. So it was kind of like an uneventful first part. We just went driving around town and stuff, and we stopped for lunch. And this is when you got, like, we went into the city for lunch. So now you really got a feel of Washington, D.C., what's happening around here. And it was, I don't know, I don't live in a city, you know. So it's kind of heartbreaking to see everybody selling knockoff merch or water bottles for, $2. And then, I'm kind of a gullible kid, I'm not going to lie. So I spent a lot of my money just supporting them and buying some stuff. Plus I was thirsty for quite a bit of it, so I just drank a lot of water there. And we went to the merch shop. And this is one of the funnier stories. We went to the merch shop, and it was like a big collection of all the stuff. And so, I bought a pair of overalls. I'm gonna get the overalls. Hold on. So yeah, I bought one of these, and I also bought like a shirt that had the U.S. flag on it, and I also bought and I got one of my friends to buy me sunglasses. I'm so glad for him, and because I blew all my money on this. So anyways, I became Captain America, basically. And it was kind of a running gag throughout the entire thing. Oh, I was Captain America. I was running around D.C. patrolling the streets. We all had a good laugh about that. Captain America, man, dude. I'm pretty easy to trick into buying stuff. I'm not gonna lie. It might be a problem or something, but we're gonna ignore that and move on to some more important stuff. So it was starting to go around midday. Right, and starting to become around midday, and the tiredness and the heat really started getting to me, and I was like, oh boy, I'm about to fall asleep, man. This is not good. Right, we went to the Lincoln Monument, the Lincoln Memorial, and that was like the most interesting thing they had there for the first day. There wasn't that much interesting about it. There's a bunch of monuments and stuff, obviously. But Lincoln Memorial was kind of nice, and it was like the marble steps was there, and it just felt good, and there was a bunch of people there. It was pretty good, But after that, we went to the FDR Memorial, and it is the most confusing thing. If you've ever been there, I don't get the layout of it at all. And there's like 4 different sections to it, and it's like the 4 big things, and it's 4 because he had 4 terms as president. That's what I believe it is. If you know what it is, tell me in the comments section. But anyways, back to the story. We went through there, and I was just, the only thing I could think of was, man, we gotta go to the hotel, man. We gotta go to the hotel. And then after that, we went to the Jefferson Memorial. That was the last thing we did, the Jefferson Memorial. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to use the bathroom here. I'm going to use the bathroom. And apparently, while I was using the bathroom, there was Big Bird from Sesame Street. I missed Big Bird from Sesame Street. And I just saw him walking away while I was in the bathroom. And I was like, and then all of my friends and the classmates were like, yo, you missed it, JJ, Big Bird was there. I was like, come on, man. And the Jefferson Memorial, it is what it is. It's memorializing Thomas Jefferson. He wrote the Declaration of Independence, Okay, so that's all well and good, right? And we thought we were going to go to our hotel, and we were going to relax for the rest of the day. Well, no, we had to eat dinner, right? So we went to this Chinese buffet. I don't know what's their deal with buffets. We had multiple of them, but that's besides the point. We went to the buffet, And they didn't prepare for us. Like, we contacted them before, and they just weren't prepared for us. So we had to wait 2 hours. We stood in the line for 2 hours. We're a bunch of 7th and 8th graders, and we're just kind of bored out of our minds. Well, that was that time I got to meet some people that I didn't really know from the middle school, and this was this is the tail end of 8th grade, so I was going into high school after this. So it was just kind of like an important trip, because it was the last school trip I would have for quite a while, and then so I just got to meet a bunch of new people, and then one of my friends fell asleep, and me and my friend Jack were like, he's asleep. And we like messed with him a little bit. It was kind of funny. 2 hours, and it was terrible food. It was straight up awful. That's about like I wouldn't go there specifically. Like, that's how bad it was. Not let alone wait for it for 2 hours. And so by the time we got to the hotel, we were thinking, oh, well, we can, go to the pool or something. No, it was too late. We had to go to bed at that point. So, we had to go to our rooms, and then we didn't go to bed. We looked at what was on TV, and there was 8 Mile playing, the Eminem movie. So we watched that until it was, like, over, and it was, like, 1:30 in the morning. We said, oh crap, we gotta go to bed because there's another full day of stuff we gotta do, and well,